Hey, been a while. Many things going on recently, and many changes of plans, so I'm kinda late again on this one, but don't worry, I got a good excuse. Okay, so not too long ago, I've made a purchase. I finally got myself a PS5, so yeah, I was preparing some Xbox stuff, but now that I own that thing, I have to play it, right? I can't just wait. Yeah, that makes sense. If you know this channel, you can also guess which game I'm playing first, because you know me and not because you clicked on the video. Anyway, I am so excited for Ratchet & Clank. I know I'm skipping a lot of games since the last video on Deadlocked, but I can't contain myself anymore. This game came out in June 2021. I can't believe I ignored it for this long. More than 3 years. Oh, and I managed to avoid spoilers, so I have no idea what I'm getting into. I'm literally shaking. The opening cinematic displays an alien hiding from Nefarious' army on a futuristic planet, then focuses on a robotic Lombax. The Lombax sneaks behind some robots and snatches away an infobot before fleeing. But as the escape was successful, the alien from the beginning is in need of a hand. A well-placed hammer strike later, the Lombax takes off the robot helmet and we get introduced to Rivet. It seems she's a fugitive on Nefarious' hit list, and, well, she's been found. Fade to white. We're back with a more familiar Lombax. Ratchet is visibly nervous about having a celebration thrown for him and Clank. Scared people might think they're washed up. Clank reassures him, cue the parade. In this tutorial level, we learned that Clank has a surprise gift for Ratchet at the end, so for now we need to travel to the front of the parade. Right away, I'm very pleased by how beautiful the game looks, and I need to get used to it since, well, I always replay the old ones. We pick up the burst pistol and get to experience the trigger feeling with the new PlayStation controller. Very cool. The goons more or less crash the party. Apparently someone put a bounty on us for some reason. Stuff crashes around, we learn to use our different classic gadgets and get rid of the goons and their dropship. We reach the end of the parade, and Clank delivers a speech about how Ratchet is the GOAT and announces he has repaired the dimensionator so he can travel through dimensions and find his family. Ratchet seems uncomfortable all of a sudden, but he's cut short as the gift is taken away from him. It was Nefarious indeed who was behind all this. He wanted the dimensionator for himself, but can't figure out how to properly use it yet, and is obviously going to turn terribly wrong. We decide to pursue Nefarious in order to stop him, but we all crash out at the train station, and need to look around to find his ship. But first, let's talk to Mrs. Zircon and see what the shop has in stock for us. We get the shatter bomb and clean the station of the goons as we're about to get the taste of the dimensionator. We shoot at it, resulting in the thing exploding and rifts opening up from other dimensions here and there. The phase quartz in Ratchet's glove allows him to interact with the rifts to perform some cool phase jumps. More goons, a train, and we spot Nefarious' ship. We hitch a ride on the taxi to the crash site, but the rifts make it difficult. So it's time for the Enforcer and some more trigger action. Boss fight time. Avoid the laser and keep blasting. From time to time, he opens up rifts and amoeboids find their way into our dimension. We defeat the giant robot, and Nefarious reveals his plan to travel to a dimension where he always wins, so we can finally know how it feels. Dr. N's trip considerably weakens the dimensions, and here we are, sucked into various rifts as we end up together with the enemy. The dimensionator explodes, Clank loses an arm, and our heroes are now separated. We realize this is Rivet's dimension, as she picks up our robot buddy for questioning. Meanwhile, Nefarious explodes in joy after realizing his plan actually worked, and he seems to be the emperor of this dimension. Cue the title screen. That's all for the intro. Time to reunite with Ratchet, who's surprised to see another Lombax and goes after Clank. Ratchet makes his way into the Nefarious City Bazaar and wonders if it means that there are two Nefariouses now. Right away, we are welcomed by Mrs. Zircon, who agrees to sell me weapons for the Resistance cause. Ratchet is confused but gets distracted when Rivet and Clank suddenly appear as they run from the troopers. Not fast enough. They both take off, and Mrs. Zircon advises us to look for the Phantom at Club Nefarious for help. We do some exploring of the bazaar, finding raritanium used to upgrade weapons, and also a purple rift, which takes us to a pocket dimension. These are short platforming levels that reward you with a piece of armor, kinda like a bonus stage. Here we get the robot disguise helmet Rivet wore during the intro. Each equipped piece gives us a bonus, here to damage against Nefarious' army. We make it to the club and see some robots partying hard, until the alarm rings off and the Phantom's cover is blown. Oh, and also, he appears to be this dimension's kid. Panic ensues, and we decide to follow him as he runs away. On the way, I find my first gold bolt, fight a ton of more powerful enemies, and receive the ability to Phantom Dash from Skid to thank us for the help. This allows Ratchet to become untargetable for a short time, to either go through security force fields or not get hit by attacks. It's very powerful, even though it took me a while to realize that. Since there's almost no cooldown, you can basically spam it. Some parkour later, Skid reveals us that Rivet probably went to Sargasso and proposes a deal. Help him take control of that blimp and he'll help us get into Nefarious Tower, where I can find a ship to get off planet. I found a unique way to reach the blimp, then learn to upgrade my weapons at the shop. We're here, at the spa where the blimp is at. The Phantom will hack the thing to spread a message from the Resistance to the city, but needs our help distracting the troopers as he does so. Oh, and don't trust the pink bathwater. Then here we go. First actual big gunfight. We take care of the deadly robots wave after wave until our plane goes up in flame along with the blimp. Phantom gives us Glitch to help us get onto the Emperor's private shuttle to the tower, and tells us we need to hook her up to the access console located at the Nefarious statue. The Phantom then willfully get captured, and we're on our own again. Before heading to the tower, we do some exploring and find another gold bolt along with our first Rhino spy bot. They contain intel on different planets and plans for secret weapons if we collect enough of them. At the statue, we get ambushed by a Juggernaut boss, and again, avoid the laser. At 75% HP, we both get sucked into a rift on a wild planet before coming back. We can now meet Glitch and hook her up to the access console. Not your typical Ratchet and Clank minigame. This is basically a short Landstalker level if you saw the Ratchet Deadlocked video. Get rid of all the virus nests and put the server back online. We make it to Nefarious' office, sneak up on him, and...
Clank. Huh?
Alarm goes off and we escape to the hangar and into a ship.
Password, please.
Huh? Why do I need a password? I'm the Emperor. How about I obliterate you instead? Ha 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 ha!
Bring me that lumber!
Finally, we're off planet. But it's now time to see what happened on Clank's side. During the trip, he's been telling Rivet what happened, but she's not too keen on trusting his side of the story. She believes the one responsible is the Emperor and not a mere doctor, and gets interrupted by a Mort, a gelatonium miner from Sargasso, calling in panic. We safely crash the ship, and the plan is now to rescue her friends at the gelatonium factory, then take Clank to her hideout. We now play as Rivet. She gets all of Ratchet's inventory, but has a hammer instead of the iconic wrench. The plan is to find a Speedo. These snail-like creatures can help us safely cross the acidic swamps and reach the factory. We meet some local fauna on the way and catch up to a Speedo who ventured into a rift. In there we also find Maynard, the Mort's help bot, and decide to ride the Speedo to catch him so he can lead us to our friends. One speed chase later, we're here, and first things first, we repel the goons that are after Ratchet, but I guess we look similar enough to get shot at. After the cleanup, we learn that many Morts are stuck in that dimensional anomaly, but I notice a dinosaur, or should I say a Grunthor, east of here, and go fight that first. Get back to the anomaly, and let Clank inspect it. Clank gets into a trance, and we meet with Gary. He is also known as the all-seeing cosmic prophet of interdimensional sector 2255 phase Omega. Gary explains that Clank landed in some kind of space between dimensions, a dangerous rift that might just destroy the universe in time. After Clank introduces himself, Gary notices he is a friend of his father and asks for help fixing the dimensions. So these are the Clank levels. No microbot this time, but some kind of Lemmings game. You get these infinite Clanks running forward, and you have to use different kinds of spheres to lead them to the exit. In this first batch of levels, you get lift sphere that raise the Clanks or a platform you attach it to, and then you get the speed spheres that help you break stuff and speed you up. Usually, the plan is to get all the spheres first, then guide the mirror images to the exit door. We're back with Rivet, and the anomaly disappears. The Morts are saved and work on preparing a new ship for us. In the meantime, we need to pay a visit to Rivet's hideout. So let's go. We beat the Grunthor again, fight some more goons, and try to lower the bridge, but we're gonna need a different solution. We cross, thanks to a Speedo, and fight another Grunthor before making it to the hideout. There's a pocket dimension right there, so we complete it and receive the robot this guy boots and enter the base. Unsure of Clank's intentions, Rivet checks out Clank's memories and realizes he's been saying the truth all along. Rivet feels like Ratchet might even be her dimensional counterpart and asks Clank to team up, even though apparently she clearly has something against robots for some reason. As Rivet apologizes, it seems the troopers have found us and Clank is stolen away. We hop on to our Speedo friend and catapult ourselves to the ship, causing it to overdrive and giving us an opportunity to strike. Here we need to avoid lasers, but also the Seeker Pete's claws. Do this twice and the foe has enough. A good hammer to the face to finish it. Clank is safe. Back to the ship, the infobot Rivet stole earlier contains all of the Emperor's hit list. and she's on it too. Rivet's plan is now to find a signal booster for Clank to fix his communicator and reach Ratchet as we take off to Xerxes. This spaceport is kind of like the hub of the game, no hostiles there, just the gastropub and a battleplex. After all, what kind of Ratchet and Clank game would it be without an arena? We quickly complete a pocket dimension and get rewarded with a beautiful Q-Force helmet. Anyway, in the pub, we see all kind of patrons, but it's at the bar that we ask the boss for, quote, our favorite first mate. We don't need to look for long though, as he appears exactly then. Pierre Lefer, who seems to be Rusty Pete's French counterpart in this dimension. He's a space pirate, and more exactly, he is Captain Quantum's first mate. Oftentimes he has helped the Resistance with supplies or equipment, but deep down he's still a pirate and will stay loyal only to his crew. Anyway, he throws his romantic act to Rivet when she asks for the part she needs, and the two of them decide to settle this in the arena. Jump down and it's on. We confront waves of pirates, as this is the first decent challenge of the game. The difficulty here mainly comes from the fact that the enemies appear at random with the rifts. Oh, bitch. What? No! Every time. After 5 waves of pirates, we don't face Pierre himself, but his stunt double François. We take care of him, and as he spawns during the fight, Pierre admits defeat and rewards us with the part we wanted. Now we can finally talk to Ratchet. Clank says that Gary could help us with building a new dimensionator in Savali, and Ratchet decides to go check since he's close by. Meanwhile, Rivet and Clank will head to Blizzard Prime to locate the phase quartz needed to power the dimensionator there.
Wow, another Lombax.
We do some more arena battling and challenges in order to get our bank account in the green and an extra gold bolt, then head outside to our ship. We catch the nefarious broadcast before taking off, and he explains that 2 Lombaxes are running around his galaxy ruining everything. He then proceeds to offer an unrealistic amount of unrealistic money to anyone who would catch them. He also knows where we are going next, which means Ratchet and Rivet are going to be expecting extra company. Real quick, I decide to get back to Sargasso to check out extra objectives and side quests, which involve flying and feeding Trudy, as well as a spy bot. Oh, and I also get trolled by a pocket galaxy a couple times. Oh, come on, I went right through it. Anyways, back to Ratchet and his more important business on planet Savali, where we need to look for the Prophet Gary and ask for the Dimensioner's blueprints. This is our lucky day since we find him after literally 20 seconds, but he tells us that the plans are in the archives, and we need to look for his apprentice in order to access them. Unfortunately, like Nefarious said, the planet is under attack and everyone is after Ratchet, so we decide to lend them a hand. As I make my way to the archives start making their way away from me. This is where we meet a very familiar little yellow robot, who happens to be the apprentice we were after. She hesitantly agrees to team up for now and explains that in order to reach the archives, we must rescue the monks from Nefarious' forces. Savali is a big planet with no defined path, so we learn to use the gravity boots to the fullest. That way we don't need to slowly jog everywhere. First off, the 3 temples. We get rid of the robotic foes and open the monks' cages. In the meantime, we also meet with a scholar who tells Ratchet about the shrines of the Lombaxes, built ages ago, containing a orb stuffed with ancient info only a Lombax can unlock. It seems to be records from a Lombax personal diary, as he worked on a dimensional map. The voice belongs to Mags. His work on Savali's map impressed Caden, Ratchet's dad, and the council, so they asked for more, by mapping every dimension. In order to do so, Caden landed him the dimensionator, and he gets to work. We then have entries that are mostly Easter eggs of the different dimensions he visits. From what we hear, he met with Sly Cooper, Knack, Jack and Daxter, and he even went to Little Big Planet. At the end though, he talks about the bad news. Lombaxes need to hide, and they'll use the map to find the perfect dimension to escape to. The last entry is there to guide the Lombaxes who didn't escape to the dimensional map and find the others. A lot of this stuff is extra lore from the PS3 games era, which we'll probably do in future videos. Anyways, back to our story. We reach yet another temple and 3 more monks, with the help of KT-7461, the apprentice official name, only 1 to go. To enter the mountain temple, we first need to complete a few trials, where we need to speed through with our gravity boots. No big deal. Whoa! Once we're done, we get rid of the bad guys and let Glitch take it away to hack the force field trapping the last batch of monks to save. The glitch levels are progressively harder from now. We now need to deactivate the shields protecting the nest before we can destroy them. We successfully release everyone, and they can now help us reach the archives. They open rifts for Ratchet and KT-7461, and we fly towards our goal. But of course, we'll have to do some more fighting in there as well. To get in, We need to activate the generator and wait for it to reach full capacity. Perfect time for a double commander boss fight. And just like that, we're finally entering the Vault of Knowledge. The map is still safely waiting in there, and Ratchet opens up to KT-7461 about his dad and the Lombaxes. The apprentice says that we can definitely build the dimensionator now that we got the blueprints, but it has to be done at the Kedaro Station Forge, the galaxy's most secure outpost. KT-7461 agrees to be nicknamed Kit, thank God, but the archives are under heavy fire, so we need to get out of here. Kit refuses and turns into a giant killer robot, blasting everything. Even Ratchet, almost. We learned that this is why Kit was hesitant about teaming up, telling Ratchet people are never safe around her, before revealing her past life. She was built to keep watch over the Emperor's galaxy, and one night blasted a rebel in the Imperial Zone as she tried to stop them, and severely hurt them. This is why she exiled herself here, to keep everyone safe from her. Kit is hesitant again, but get convinced to stay a team for Ratchet. Next up, for this new duo, is Kedaro Station. But first, let's get back to Rivet and Clank. They get an unpleasant surprise as they make it to Blizzard Prime. The whole planet has been destroyed to pieces. We quickly realize though, that hitting the Blizon crystal transports us to another dimension's version of the planet, which means there's still hope to finding intact phase quartz here. Here, Rivet and Clank will continuously jump from one reality to another in order to find a path towards the giant drill needed for our objective. At some point, the goons catch onto us, and many battles come between us and the phase quartz. At the mining hub, we do some exploring first, then talk to the chief engineer. She seems deranged though, and refuses to drill for quartz as long as she doesn't know what's going on with all these rifts. We then volunteer to go get the bots, who can help us figure out the situation. There are 3 of them: Bob, Jim, my new best friend, and finally Sam. All of them safely get back to the survey station, and we can see what they've picked up from the other side. Of course, we get attacked again, and defend our new buddies against Juggernaut and his friends. Jim finally takes us to the drill, but the way is blocked by another dimensional mess. Time for Clank to shine again. This new batch of trials is getting more difficult, as we get more things to work with now, including heavy spheres, as well as wind and lifts. Piece of cake, the way is open. Dimensional sliding is on the menu, but we make it to the drill safe and sound and turn it on. The chief engineer literally calls us a second later to tell us that the bot's message from the other dimension said to not turn on the drill under no circumstances. Oops, I guess. A huge fight ensues amid the panic, but we manage to make it work. Again, by switching from a dimension to the other. As we take down the gunship, it crashes into the drill and...
Rivet! Oh, no.
The quartz is destroyed, but not always lost, as Rivet brings up the Fixer, someone on Torrent 4 who can fix anything. Clank agrees to check it out. It's not like we had many other options. In the meantime, Dr. Nefarious' Lombax bounty escalates even more, so we won't be left alone anytime soon. We're staying with the Rivet-Clank duo a little bit longer and arrive on Torrent 4. Unfortunately, the bridge towards the Fixer is out of order. Rivet suspects the pirates, and we get to town to investigate. We do a bit of shopping, as well as upgrade a couple weapons with our Raritanium, before meeting with the Villard, a local taking us for tourists. Apparently the Fixer is here, no problem. He can fix phase quartz too, but he's broken after brawling with the pirates as he tried to protect the town. We decide to see what we can do, and the Villard suggests we get a hurl shot to cross those huge ravines, so navigation gets easier. We decimate the local fauna, then jump on the minecart railings for some epic grinding action. The smelting pit's welcoming committee consists of pirates, and Rivet knows them well. Pierre is back. The shields are annoying, but we manage to get rid of them before getting our hands on the hurl shot. Rivet flies over another cliff, and more fighting with Pierre's crew ensues. At this point, this just becomes a massacre. We get rid of a whole lot of mateys while boarding their ships. Wee Rogers appears, but he's no match for us, so Pierre decides to change tactics.
I suggest we abandon ship.
Suggestion noted!
Back in Junktown, we can now use our new gadget to reach the Fixer now. I thought we were done with the pirates, but we were apparently not. They even bring out the no-so-wee Roger. That should do it. Now let's finish the parkour towards the giant robot and press the turn on switch. The guy seems depressed, and anyways, starts blasting. Time for a cool rail surfing session.
Please focus on the grinding.
Focus on what? We escape as the Fixer tries to unfix us, and try to think of a plan as we do so. This part reminds me of a Disneyland 4D movie ride, maybe a tad bit more intense. All seems lost, but Clank improvises and tries to convince the foe that, thanks to him, He's now fixed. The fixer is thinking straight once again and repairs our shattered face quartz. This part honestly kind of felt like a fever dream, but let's not ask too many questions. Let's continue, shall we? Okay, let's get back to Team B with Ratchet and Kit at the Kid Arrow station in Cordelian. In the ship, Ratchet shares his worries about meeting his family and why he's so hesitant to travel to their dimension. What if they don't meet his expectations? We're here for the only Rubian forge strong enough to build a dimensionator. And of course, our arrival is expected, so the fighting starts from the get-go. It's Ratchet's turn to play with the Blizzard and start shifting between dimensions. The other Kedaro station seems abandoned, and in the elevator down to the main hall, Ratchet explains that he has a good life in this dimension, and he worries about being a disappointment to his fellow Lombax. There's something wrong here. Everything's broken, and not a single soul works here anymore. But we need that forge. Doesn't matter in which dimension. We get flashbacks of Blackwater City and get overwhelmed by amoeboids. Our progression is cut short when we end up on a locked door. So Ratchet decides to look around, and we meet Junkbot, a visibly unstable robot assistant who loves to give Ratchet nicknames. He can help us in our quest, but he needs his arm, which is somewhere under the water, so we look to drain it. Job's done. Let's get back to that locked door. This part of the game feels like a parody of Alien Isolation, but no xenomorph here. His name is Juice, and apparently he's Junkbot's best friend, even though he tries to kill him sometimes. We follow Junkbot around, getting rid of amoeboids and restoring power here and there. We meet Juice again in the elevator, but it's okay, he just wants to play. On the lower levels, we get closer to the Rubian Forge, but we have to switch dimensions again in order to keep going. This brings us right in the heat of the facility where all the science bots are working. Kit is recognized by security and finds an excuse for their eruption. We're inspecting the facility. She manages to trick the Junkbot into finding the excuse plausible and rushes to the Forge commands.
Schematics uploaded.
What do we got? I see.
Are you winging this?
Come on.
You ran the forge with auxiliary power only? The main power button was right there!
Apparently, this was not the right button. We have to fight our way out of here. There are just too many enemies, so we decide to find Blizzard and get back to the scary dimension. Maybe we can find the forge over there? First, let's repair the forge, and we start by restoring some power thanks to glitch. By this point it's clear that their glitch levels are getting harder, and the virus is getting smarter, trying to pull ambushes and stuff. All we need now is to find a power source for the forge down here somewhere, but there's a menace sneaking around. I try shooting at him, but only canisters of Slurpean jelly will distract him so we can flee. Oh, and doors take forever to open, or it wouldn't be fun. For a while we play a game of cat and mouse, trying to escape Juice and get the forge working at the same time. Ratchet ends up flooding the place, and I almost get stuck exploring the seafloor. Back inside, Juice was waiting for us, so we hit the blazing crystal as our only escape. Of course, this dimension is flooding with enemies, so we have to be quick. In a dramatic plot twist, we realize that the whole station's juice comes from Juice himself as the power source. We free him because alien cruelty is wrong, and he helps us taking out the big guys. By the way, let Juice take the aggro because these guys hurt. We follow our new friend as he takes us to Blizzard. We travel together to the abandoned station and...
Wow. Power restored to maximum level.
Schematics uploaded.
Did it work? Yes, we did it, kid! You are a good partner.
we get our hands on a brand new dimensionator, and we're off. Let's get back to Xerxes and build this thing. This is actually the first time the whole gang is going to reunite, and Rivet seems quite nervous about it.
Hey! Yes, hi. I have Clank.
It starts awkward, but everyone is happy to finally see each other. But let's not lose any more time here. We have a dimensionator to build. Of course, it doesn't go as planned, and we're ambushed by the Nefarious' forces. We're forced to give up our precious gadget. We're not giving up so easily though. We worked hard for this thing. Time to fight back. Rivet pushes Nefarious into the arena, and she gets a try at defeating the Doctor. The fight doesn't stay normal for long, as we're sucked into another dimensional chaos, with the dimensionator now usable. We get to slide some railings in between phases. The fight isn't super hard, but Nefarious hits really hard with his blades. Another breach sends us to fight a Granthor at home before we continue. He tries to send Rivet into a supernova, but fails, and we're back at Xerxes to finish it. Nefarious drops the dimensionator, and as we think it's over, an unexpected guest makes his entrance. This dimension's actual Nefarious, or should I say, the Emperor. He's a taller color swap from the one we know. Oh, and he's British apparently.
Wow! What a battle!
He picks up the dimensionator and sends people flying into dimension, as well as using some kind of psychic powers to easily take over the situation. The Emperor grabs the Doctor and they both leave through a portal towards Sargasso. Clank advises we look for Captain Quantum, the last rebel on the Emperor's list who keeps escaping him. Rivet tells Ratchet to leave for Ardolis to find Pierre. He will lead us to the guy. We decide to get as many resources as possible before continuing to the next chapter of our adventure, so a few arena battles are in order. For now, we stay with the new duo Rivet and Kit and head back to Sargasso, Rivet's home planet. As soon as we arrive, the planet is already under attack. We have the Warmonger now, and even though it doesn't have much ammo, we can decimate the enemy. The Morts were trying to repel the assault, but dimensional messes prevented them to do so. So now it's up to Kit to get rid of it. But if Clank was able to remove them, it shouldn't be an issue for her. The way towards it is dangerous though, so we need to body hordes of robots to get there. Okay, by now you got the idea. 3 stages, lead the mirror images to the exit. It gets more difficult, but nothing unbearable. The Centipede ship is free for the Morts to use and defend themselves against the Emperor. We're not done here yet. Rivet decides to keep going and wants to blow up the battleship surrounding her home. We do so with the first one and escape on Trudy's back. Now comes the flight and shoot phase. As another ship goes down, the remaining ones set up shields and we need to grab bombs to get rid of them. Repeat a few times and everything goes boom. Sargasso is saved again. Unfortunately, the Emperor is a sore loser and yeets Rivet and Kit into a pocket dimension. As we're looking for a way out, Rivet explains how she lost her arm during a mission, but a warbot caught her so close to her goal. We understand then that the warbot was none other than Kit, but she doesn't get the heart to tell Rivet. We find the exit, and it's time to see what's up with Ratchet and Clank on their quest to find Quantum. Ardolis is a broken world with unstable weather, so having rifts opening left and right doesn't help. After hearing a happy together on the radio, we learn that the planet is closed today because of a special event, the execution of Pierre Lefer, because of blowing his own ship while fighting Rivet. Well, guess we need to hurry then. We make it to the territory of the space pirates.
Are you friendly? Apparently not.
We find Pierre and he's alive, but we definitely need to hurry to get to him. And for that, we will go through the mines. We blow up many sea dogs on the way. I gotta admit, I love the atmosphere here. Very Jack Sparrow, very Disneyland ride. In the barracks, we get ambushed and have to survive the waves rushing at Ratchet. It's a lot, but no problem. We made it to the docks. We quickly complete an explosive pocket dimension before we go check on Pierre. More fighting. I'm really loving this place. It's just never-ending action. Anyways, pirates defeated, Pierre saved. What do we do now? Apparently, to find Quantum, Pierre says we need to complete the pirate trials. Why am I having flashbacks from Up Your Arsenal's Path of Death? Alright. Heading to Skull Mountain then. The place doesn't seem so terrible. It even has SpongeBob music.
I think this Speedle might appreciate getting out of here.
Was that SpongeBob music? We jump on the Speedo's back to those strange trials Pierre talked about. Yeah, it's literally a theme park. First trial is a shanty. Sing with the animatronics and try to get all the notes right by shooting at them. Pretty chill start. Next, the elevator hypes us up for an epic fight. Seems like the second trial is out of order. Guess we're skipping this part. To progress through, we'll require Glitch's help to open the door. The glitch level keeps getting harder and make me more dizzy every time, but we managed to repel the viruses in the terminal. Apparently next time will be the last since we're facing the master virus itself. Anyways, the terminal was for a gold bolt and not the door. Oh well. The final trial is a treasure hunt. We chill on the little boats, just like in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, and watch the show. Of course, we're due for some fighting and get ready for battle. Other boats pop out, as well as an island in the middle. Crabcakes McGee gets obliterated by our rockets, we crack the door open, and finally become a pirate. Proud and true. Time to find Quantum.
What brings ye here? You're, in danger. The Emperor has a...
Dimensionator?
You already knew?
Har har! We bugged him! Greatest job we ever pulled! So actually, he's the one in danger!
We could get ahead of the Emperor with that thing.
Thing? It's me face!
But you're not a robot.
What? Ye dare!
Wait, this dimension has a quark?
Quark? It's quantum!
Captain Quantum.
Looks like the captain has blown his cover, and now we need to save another dimension's quark. The boat we're fighting on has cannons you can trigger by hitting them, and waves after waves of pirates come aboard trying to avenge their captain. Quantum will steer the boat and get us out of here while we take care of the enemies. This takes a little while, until we're all ready for takeoff. We just need to prime the launch on the upper control deck. Unfortunately, it wasn't the end of the pirates, and they deploy a plunder beam to keep our ship from moving. Time for more fighting. Ratchet grabs onto one of the flying vessels and reaches the plunder beam before turning it off. Back with Quantum, it's time we finally leave this place. Oh, never mind, we crash. It's a boss fight. The Tide Twins. Victory is ours.
Fair's fair. So, this Captain Quark, is he a pirate in your dimension too?
No, he's a hero. Even though he's betrayed us, surrendered to save his own skin, taking credit for our...
He's a hero?
Because no matter how many times he screws up, he's always there when it matters most. He never stops trying.
The Emperor shows up and tries to send us flying into a giant rift. Quantum sacrifices himself and throws Ratchet overboard. A real hero. Honestly, between this and the scary space station, these levels are incredibly fun and creative. Such a blast, so many details, it's all incredibly good. Anyways, back to Xerxes. Been a while since we had an official announcement from the Emperor. He stands victorious with Quantum's defeat. No more pirates, no more resistance. Cut, the galaxy is his. But he doesn't feel any different. He realizes that there are more dimensions waiting to be conquered, and a new crusade starts. Thanks to the snitch Quantum put on the Emperor, Ratchet is able to understand that conversation and understand that Savali and the dimensional map is the next target. We let Rivet and Kit know and hurry there. We get welcomed by, you guessed it, a ton of robots. But that's not all. By overusing the dimensionator, Nefarious is breaking the boundaries between the universe, and now we've got some bone goons. We have to hurry to the archives. The entrance is already shattered on the ground. The portal takes us inside, but we're too late. The map is gone. Rivet decides to get it back and goes for the Emperor's flagship. We easily get inside, but obviously security greets us right the second we enter. We fight off tons of robots here, as the platform takes us to the higher part of the ship. We make it to the top, but find Gary on Nefarious' seat. He was captured after the Emperor found out he hid the map in an anomaly, which is a relief. It means that he doesn't have it yet. On the other hand, he keeps opening rifts left and right to find it, and it's only a matter of time until he does. Back with Ratchet, Gary and Rivet lets him know where to look for the map, so we head for the catacombs. To get there, we need to activate the excavation towers. Pretty simple. Get to the towers, eliminate the bone goons, and activate the mechanisms. They're not that bad. Ow. We hurry to the task. Catacombs, here we are. Not yet. First, we have a glitch level. This is where the Virus Master is. The virus explains how the dimensions opening up gave them so many chances to spread, and how happy they are they found Glitch. Why? She's the one who helped them evolve. Like an evil AI, all those battles were wonderful learning opportunities. After the regular level, we take on their leader on a really easy boss fight. And that's it. Thanks for the gold bolt. Where were we? To get to the catacombs, we first need to go through the aqueducts. And we will do so on a speedo. Faster, I guess. It's a very cool high-speed track, going from portal to portal, jumping and running over bone goons. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's fine. Thank you, game. We have monks here, Gary's friends. They tell Ratchet they found the rift to the goon's dimension, and we'll seal it. We just need to hold them off. Right away, we're sent a bone gun Thor. Oh, and a million bone goons too. Clank also can't believe it. We destroy them all, and the monks manage to close the rift. Alright, looks like this map is hidden in this anomaly. You know the drill. 3 stages, lead the lemmings to the exit, and job's done. I struggled a bit more than the previous ones here, but I'll blame it on the tiredness. Oh well, got it.
Ratchet,
did it! Hooray! Now hand it here so I don't have to send your friend's head to Torren 4. Don't worry! I'll be hosting a viewing party of my victories in Zordoom.
Come on, kid. We gotta. Run.
Run? This is our last chance to stop him!
Sorry.
It was you!
What are you doing here?
Rivet goes back to her ship, pretty shook to realize Kit's identity. She lands on a planet called Zordoom, a place where the Emperor keeps his prisoners. And also, this is where Rivet lost her arm back then. The planet looks deserted at first. Rivet enters the facility through the disposal center and has to find the processing center. That's where our friends are being held. This feels like an infiltration level at first, until I bring out the big guns, I guess. I gotta admit, I feel like the alarm should have gone off many times, but it didn't. For some reason. Anyways, we get rid of the guards and parkour down to the air vents. Rivet quickly locates Clank in some sort of stasis and finds a way out the vents inside the prison. Many creatures are locked in here. Amoeboids, goons, robots, pirates, but also Quantum, the Phantom, and other rebels. Oh, and monks. Wait, actually everyone is here. We free Clank along with everyone, and company arrives quickly through rifts. We still need to find Ratchet and Kit. Remember that little robot assistant always around the Emperor? Yeah, me neither. But she's pissed Clank is free, and sends all she has towards Rivet. The flying robots with lasers are pretty annoying, to be honest. We keep progressing inside the prison. So many prisoners. The facility is probably holding everyone who has ever crossed the Emperor. So many enemies too. Time for a mini-boss, the transfer manager. But he's no match for us, and we manage to get a grip on Ratchet and Kit's moving cell. We follow it, hanging tight to the south entrance. As Clank looks for a way forward, Rivet fights off the ever-growing security that the assistant is throwing at us. She's not about to let us free their prized prisoners. Last step is upon us. We can't free them from the VIP section without powering down the cell. And for some reason, probably because she's been here before, she knows we can do so at the warden's office. Before we go, I take a look around in the VIP section. We can even talk to many prisoners. Alright, let's go. We get rid of company and fly our way towards our objective with the help of an open access hatch. We're in the office. Power is out, mission accomplished, but unfortunately the VIP section has backup power, just in case. No time to worry about it. We're about to get swarmed by security. Big fight, but as always, the real enemy are ledges. Oh, why didn't you do anything? I pressed it. For now, we are running away. Thinking about a plan, okay, but mainly making sure we survive this too. We witness chaos in the facility since, well, every cell except from the VIP section opened up. Looks like we have new allies, but they're moving the cell again. This time, to maximum security. Explosions everywhere, fire and bullets. The place turned into a full-on battlefield. We don't forget the goal here and keep following the cell towards an elevator. Now the room fills up with gas. What's going on with this place? We need to hurry again, because the whole area is about to get sealed. We speed like we never did before and barely catch up with Ratchet and Kit. But of course, reinforcements are on the way. More fighting, bring it on. We face off the Royal Guard's escorts, and that's going to be all of them.
Someone call for backup?
Thanks for the save. Kit, are you...
Give us a minute.
We'll meet you at the ship.
Clank told me I should try to forgive you. I am going back to Savali. I never should have.
Wait! You're just gonna hide again? Now?
I am very Truly, I am sorry, Rivet. For everything. I am not a good partner.
Well, maybe you could be. If you'd stopped to help me that night instead of running away, things could have been different. Or if you just told the truth, maybe...
Why do none of you understand? I am broken. I will always be broken.
Fine. Go hide. We have a universe to save. Universes, whatever. I don't need a partner anyway.
Wait, where's Kit?
She's not coming.
But
I wasn't expecting Kit not coming with. At Zerky's, Rivet is mad and Ratchet is awkward. And they have an argument. Not for long though.
sorry. Sorry.
We find Quantum at the bar, and he knows how to find the Emperor. When we're ready, we should just go talk to him. I played enough Ratchet and Clank games to know this sounds like a final mission. I decide to get some bolts at the arena to make sure I'm ready for what's coming, upgrade some weapons, and finally go talk to Quantum. Let's do this. We start by imagining a way of luring Nefarious to us, but we quickly realize this won't be necessary. As soon as we start planning, we get interrupted by a special announcement on the TV. The Emperor explains how he plans to expand his control over multiple dimensions, starting with the Doctor's and Ratchet's one. He opens up a rift to Megalopolis, or as he calls it, New Nefarious City. All the friends Ratchet made during the adventure are on his side, and everyone is ready to finish this as they follow the Emperor into the rift. Looks like we're a tad late. The city has already fallen. The initial plan is for Ratchet and Clank to distract Nefarious while Rivet grabs the dimensionator. But yeah, before getting to him, we'll have to plow through his giant robot army once more. Thankfully, we have many allies this time, and they all joined the fight to defend the dimension. We got snipers, flying enemies, juggernauts. There's some serious action going on here, but it's kind of funny to see the goons and the pirates changing sides. We reach the Nefarious duo. Rivet arrives on Trudy's back, but it's too late. They already jumped into a rift. A huge Emperor robot jumps out of the rift, and we switch to Rivet to take care of it. This looks amazing. The visuals are perfect. The Imperial power suits uses lasers. Didn't see that coming. We have to shoot at his hands that are going through rifts a few times to trigger the next phase. The pirates, along with Ratchet and Quantum, arrive to the rescue. Ratchet launches a pirate ship filled with explosives straight to the power suit's face. It's not very effective, but we managed to lower his health bar to 75%. This part is similar to phase 1, but now he's using his face to shoot lasers. Anyway, this still looks really cool, and not super easy like most fights. At 25%, he switches back to using his hands. So much ammo is being used. His HP bar is massive. Once we lower it to 0, Ratchet gets sucked into another rift, and with the help of Gary and the monks, we make our way towards the giant mech suit. They somehow teleport us inside the robot, where the heart is. I'm sure firing at it would probably be a good plan. Anyway, I started blasting. We have to aim for the weak points as well as avoiding the defenses around the heart. It works. We get rid of the first layer and keep at it until...
Ratchet! Clank!
We got through to the other side of the city. Hold them off as long as you can.
The Emperor is pissed now and fires the dimensionator left and right, trying to destroy all the dimensions and bring in an endless army to deal with the situation. We're surrounded, but Kit comes to the rescue. She will make sure no one will come between us and Nefarious to finish this. It's final boss time. No surprises here. The Emperor is fast, he hits hard, and he shoots lasers. Of course, he also has a massive HP bar. Unfortunately, it doesn't stay a 1v1 situation for long, as Nefarious calls backup on his side, but they're no match for Rivet and Kit. What makes this fight hard is mainly the fact that the Emperor avoids all your shots because of his incredible speed. At 10%, he becomes desperate and throws everything at us. Never mind, it's just fish. Everyone's gone.
I will fill up every dimension!
This is the part where you lose!
You really thought you had me?
about winning.
Victory! High five! Good job, everyone! We lose no time, and Clank takes matter into his own hands and uses the dimensionator to clean this whole mess. Cue to the cute scene where everything goes back to normal and people are celebrating with their alter egos from different dimensions. Of course, we also get a Rivet/Kit reunion.
You're my friend. And thank you for coming back.
Team.
Team.
I guess it's time to go home, huh?
Yeah. Our dimension could use a couple heroes right about now.
Well, how would you two feel about making a pit stop on the way?
Where are we headed?
I think you know.
Gotta make this a bit emotional, of course. We have an idea of what happens to the characters in the first part of the end credits, with some cute illustrations and animations. The second part of the credits features a full-length song from the Nefarious duo, and here we are. As always with Ratchet and Clank games, we can come back at the moment right before the final fight, or begin a new game plus, or challenge mode as they call it. Of course I'm playing this game all over again, but no need to show this in the video. It's the same story mode, except that we get to keep all our weapons. They can get upgraded to level 10, and you can buy Omega versions of them. Oh, and the Pixelizer and the Bouncer are also available at the shop for 1 bolt each, which is nice. Also, there's a bolt multiplier that can go up to 20 the more enemies you defeat, but will drop back to 1 as soon as you get hit. This is going to be important because Omega weapons are expensive. Oh, I didn't get the Rhino during my first playthrough either. Sorry, I wanted to focus on the story in the video. The 100% I'll just do on my side. Anyways, I couldn't stop myself from playing. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. Gameplay feels great, weapons are diverse, even though we've seen more creative stuff in previous iterations. It's still very good. Also, like I said, it's my first PS5 game, and I was happy to see every weapon has a different feeling with the controller's haptic sensors. About the story, I was honestly not super excited about another multiverse scenario. It has been seen over and over recently, and it often makes up for super complicated stories with paradoxes, etc. I think it was well done though, not too much onto the complicated side. And I mean, the subject has been going on since the PS3 era with the Ratchet & Clank series. Multiverses and dimensions are an important part of the Lombax's story, so it makes sense. When it comes to the story itself, Rivet and Kit are nice additions to the team, resembling our heroes but still with unique personalities, maybe lacking a bit of originality though. The graphics and the environment are perfect. I literally couldn't say anything about it. It's beautiful and smooth as always, as well as the voice acting and the touch of humor. Even though this one doesn't have the risky jokes from the previous eras, like in Up Your Arsenal. Ratchet isn't really as funny as before. I guess he's getting older? What else can I say? Level design is on point. Pretty much every planet is unique. The game isn't really difficult even on the highest difficulty, but I don't really think it's the type of game that should be super hardcore, and the arena challenges can be tough. There are some cool modes like the glitch versus the viruses or the anomaly levels. For 100%, there are a few collectibles like gold bolts, equipment pieces, teddy bears, and many weapons to buy and upgrade. Overall, it's an amazing game. Hits in the nostalgia since I grew up with the license, and it's much better than the PS4 remake of the first game. I still think I prefer the original PS2 trilogy, but I honestly don't think you can ever top that. Alright, the video is long enough already, so I think I should end it here. Thank you for watching. It's been a blast to record and edit. And if you like this one, please consider hitting like and subscribe. Much appreciated as always. Oh, and I really enjoy reading your comments too. Also, thanks for 500 subs. I'm really glad you liked the Darksiders video. I'm working on the sequels. It's been great. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, bye.